Allie and Maddie podcast. I'm Maddie.
Hi, I'm Allie. And this is our first episode of the Allie and Maddie podcast, but this is not the first Allie and Maddie show we've had.
Did we write the script? Yes, we did, and that's what we're looking at, because you might notice that we're just staring to a side.
We're just a little rusty. We used to be...
And we used to be these amazing professionals back in 2012 when we were at Durham College, and we had our first show, Allie and Maddie in the Morning on Riot Radio.
Yep, we definitely loved watching Community way too much, just a little bit. I definitely remember a few freakouts in class because of Troy and Aubin in the morning, but you know, whatever, no big deal. It happened. It's still one of the best television shows I've ever watched. And I just graduated from television and film production at Loyalist College. And one of the things we learned was the story clock, which is what Dan Harmon actually created and wrote all of Community off of, which basically is this beautiful little clock theory that everything you write brings you right back to where you started. And if you do that properly, then it's the perfect story.
We're the perfect story.
We're the perfect story. Yeah, we've hit the stroke of midnight. We've come full circle, and here we are.
So, like we've done before, we're here to talk about the latest entertainment news, music, TV, movies, you name it. If it's gossipy, we're on it. Let's be honest. It's a thing. Yep. But before we get started, a lot of you might not remember the Allie and Maddie in the Morning show, and for that, it's okay. We will forgive you. And for those of you who are new to this, we thought we'd talk a little bit about ourselves so you can kind of get to know who we are. And we'll do this a bit for the first few shows as well, because we don't want to bombard you with our life stories. This isn't a therapy session. Yeah.
Just wait. We're going to get our live stream figured out, and eventually it's just going to be we're all just going to talk. You know,
Allie, do you want to start off with a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hold on, I'm a little parched.
She likes water.
Actually, this is a new thing in my life. I'm Allie, and I was born and raised in Sault Ste. Marie, and I have always been this person who loves television and loves production and loves entertainment, and I thought, why not do that for a living? I decided in 2012 to move to Oshawa and go to Durham College, and that's where I met Maddie, and we both kind of shared this common passion. I just graduated from television and film production, as I said, from Loyalist College. I have a really awesome 1-year-old daughter, and my partner Garrett. We've been together for 8 years. I'd like to hang out and lay in my pool and basically be outside. As you can tell, I'm sunburned. And that's me in a nutshell.
Love it. Love the little slide, and we got a pool, and I like to sit by the pool during these hot days. Depending on where you're watching this, I'm in Toronto, and here it is 35 degrees, feeling like 40, 45 humidex. It is ridiculous. So her saying, I'm just sitting poolside is a little...
They make people jealous. But I may make it sound way better than it might actually be to some people. It's just a $200 pool from Canadian Tire, but it has a pump, and Garrett puts chlorine in it on the regular, so it's clean, and I can put a floaty in it. So
well, there you go. That's all that matters. That's really all that matters,
right? And anybody's invited to it, whatever.
We'll post your address at the end of it.
Just come here.
Well, I'm Maddie. As Allie said, we met back at Durham College. Prior to that, I was in university for pharmaceutical chemistry. I now work in public relations. I work for an amazing organization, CNIB, where we focus on sight loss, and we help change what it is to be blind today. So that's my day job, is very PR focused. But on the side, I am a binge watching fiend for things on Netflix, Disney Plus. We have all of them. It is a sad state of affairs. Crave and Amazon Prime and you name it. One show will get me onto that subscription. I'm like,
the only one I haven't caved to yet is Apple TV.
It came with my Mac.
Yeah, I got an iPad and I have it for free for a year. I haven't watched a single thing on it.
I watched 2 episodes of Central Park, which is from the creator of Bob's Burgers.
Okay.
The musical version. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. And I love Bob's Burgers. If you watch Bob's Burgers, the best way to describe me, I am a Linda Belcher mixed with a Monica Geller. That I feel is
yeah. That's an accurate description. Yeah, that works very well for you.
Yeah, that's totally me. And I feel like that encompasses everything. I'm married. My husband and I have been married for 8 years, together for 10. We have 2 old English sheepdogs, Agnes and Edith, who are named after the 2 youngest daughters in Despicable Me. Again, movie themed, and they were just adorable, so kind of had to be. But yeah, that's a little bit about myself, and like I said, we'll be sharing a little bit more about ourselves in each episode, so it's not this is Allie 101. There will be an exam at the end of it.
Welcome. Yeah, I have a habit of talking a little bit too much, and I let people know too much, but here I am, and that's, yeah. It'll be great. It's a good thing I know how to edit. So we're going to jump right into it. You mentioned you especially love to binge watch TV. What are you watching right now?
Right now, so I am fixated on all things Drag Race. So if you are a Drag Race fan, and you're in Canada right now, you kind of have the best of both worlds. You have RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 5 happening, which is fabulous. And then last week kicked off the very first episode of Canada's Drag Race. So there's you have your Thursday night binge watch, which is Canada's Drag Race, and your Friday night binge watch. And then there's that goes along with it. Yep, it's called Untucked, Allie. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
So all that. And then I've been binge watching on Crave a show called Legendary, which is about ballroom type dancing. Not ballroom dancing, but ballroom where Vogue was created. And it is amazing. So that's kind of where I'm binge watching. And I also maybe have started The Simpsons from episode 1.
Yeah, that's just I pretty much pay for Disney Plus because of The Simpsons. Like, I literally just bought it I just pay for it for that, because I'm probably one of the biggest Simpsons fans I've ever met.
I got Disney Plus for Hamilton, which is also constant rotation.
Fair enough. I'm like, I'm trying to get my daughter into the musicals, and like, she loves The Lion King. That's her jam. She really likes the Storybots. I don't know if you know what the Storybots are, but it's for kids, 100% for children. But I'd be lying if I said that I'd changed it when she fell asleep, because I don't.
Perk of having a child. They introduce you to new things.
Snoop Dogg's on it. Like, yeah, whatever.
Totally.
Zoe Saldana's on it. Like, all of the great people on it. Yeah, right? Like, whatever. They have great songs.
Yeah, there you go.
I suggest everybody looks them up. Like, seriously, they're catchy. I'm not going to sing it right now because I just won't stop. Other than that, though, I watched New Girl. I'm a big fan of New Girl. Yeah, I watched it. I was like, it was actually one of the very few shows I watched on the premiere date. So like way back when the show first came out, I can't even remember, probably like 2010, I think it was 2010. Yeah, well, no, I remember where I was living, and I remember watching it because I think that was pre-children. But yeah, it was one of the very first shows I watched off the get-go, and I loved it. I thought it was so funny. I really identified with Jessica Day because I always hung out with the boys, and I just thought that was the greatest show ever. And then life happened, and I stopped watching it. So,
and Netflix didn't give us season 7 until like
a month ago.
After season 7.
Mm-hmm.
I have strong feelings about how they played us on that one.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I mean, well, that's a different conversation for another day.
All right, so I feel like that's a good little starting point for us to be like, this is who we are, and this is what we're watching. But really, everyone is here to hear our take on the gossip, the latest news, and the entertainment and world, whether it be movies, music, apparently politics now.
Apparently, it's all just one big mess.
All just one big mess. But apparently somebody, one man, thinks that he can solve it all.
The man, the myth, the
Kanye.
The Kanye. The Ye. Yeezy himself.
Declared that he wants to run for president.
Did he just do it on Twitter? Like, because I tried to find like an actual formal thing, and all I could find was his tweet.
It was just on Twitter. It was just an announcement on Twitter. So I would like to, with this, announce my formal candidacy for Prime Minister of Canada, because apparently if I tweet it, it'll be a thing.
Right? I think it's okay. Like, since when did that become like an official like news statement? Like,
well, I think since Trump uses Twitter as his official news statement. But the main story here, because again, Trump can be his own podcast, and our thoughts and opinions and feelings about that can, 24 hours straight, we could just go for. But is Kanye, during this pivotal time in really in American history, where you have the Black Lives Matter movement being currently overshadowed, and it's already a huge movement, but it's being overshadowed by the coronavirus just booming in numbers as part of their phase 2, which I feel like is still part of phase 1 for them.
Have they just decided that like everything everybody else is doing, they're just going to do the opposite?
Seems like the fact that the other day, and I haven't checked the numbers in the last couple of days simply because it is just depressing. But the other day they hit 50,000 new cases in one day. One day. I
just watch the news in the morning, and they show the map of the glowing red, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, this is not good.
It's ridiculous. So then you have Kanye swooping in, and where there should be proper media attention placed on Black Lives Matter, placed on the LGBTQ community and the trans community who are losing their rights left, right, and center by the Trump administration.
Or, arresting the people who killed Breonna Taylor.
Exactly. And arresting a lot of other people as well.
A lot of other people as well, yeah.
Right? But no, it's for Kanye to come out in a tweet, knowing his social power, to take attention away from proper news stories and proper avenues of information, just so that people can be like, oh, is this a gimmick? Is this not a gimmick? And it just blows my mind. It blows my mind.
To have such a platform, and that's what you choose to use it for, especially being able to make such a change. And the thing that really gets me is that, like, you got Kim over, like, how are they a married couple? Because, like, on one hand, she's out there having people, like, released, like, Santoya, whatever her name is, like, had her released from prison. She's, like, she works heavily with the Innocence Project. And then you've got her husband who, like, to me, that's, why don't you just support Trump? Like, why don't you just say vote for, right? Like, with everything that it adds up, like with your Make America Great Again hat and all of this, it's like, at what point, how much money did they pay you?
And that's the other thing that people were saying, okay, well, from a realistic standpoint, he's missed the deadline for properly registering in a number of states. So that means that he won't be on the ballot. Should this be a real thing?
Yeah.
Should this be a real thing? His name's not on the ballot. Fine. But in some states you can do write-in ballots. Do those people even know about that? It's a whole other form of contention. Like, is that even really going to be a thing?
Yeah.
But then on top of that is the fact that if this is really something he wants to do, but hasn't put the proper time, energy, effort, you name it, behind it to really figure out what it is that he's going to be, what his platform is going to be, a real proper platform. He's doing this, and let's say he does sign, and doesn't matter those states where he hasn't, he's missed the deadline. So let's say he does it. There's this potential of him and the news outlets have been saying there's this potential of him taking away the black vote from potentially Joe Biden, because Trump, for the most part, and I can't say everybody wouldn't vote for him because he's president, wouldn't vote for him. So it's taking it away from a candidate who might actually be able to make change and do something right. It blows my mind that in such a chaotic time he would pull this stunt.
Yeah. And it just like, it's like, it leads you to like, it's like, well, is he serious? And it's like, he obviously cannot be serious. He can't be serious. Like, he's not a stupid man. He's not stupid. His mother wasn't stupid. And like that, like, that's the thing. Like, if you're a Kanye fan, you know anything about Kanye, you know he is meticulous and very intentful with everything that he does. So I can't see him doing something without knowing the implications behind it, without knowing what he's actually doing. Like, and that just leads me to that whole other question. Like, are you actually evil? Are you a bad person? Like, do you know what you're doing? Or is this like some evil genius thing where you're like, I know I can split the vote and I'm just going to make a mockery of this whole thing?
Well, if you split the vote, that's unfortunately that in the situation that the country is in, that the United States is in right now, splitting the vote could literally mean the collapse of that country as we know it. And it's getting there. It's the racism is just beyond. It was always there, but it was always underlying and like simmering, and like, you knew it was there, and you're like, maybe it wasn't as bad as in the 50s and 60s.
But and then Trump opened that door. He literally opened the door and he was like, hello, welcome, you can all come out now, and literally made it okay. And it's like, this is not okay.
It's not. And so for Kanye to take this opportunity to pull this, and if he is not serious, I can't fathom what genius is behind it. Unfortunately, right. There is nothing that I could say that was a genius maneuver for you to do that during this time.
Yeah, it's just like, and then it's like, well, can we have some fun and have some fun with it and joke around? And it's like, well, who would be vice president? And like, it, as heavy as it is, it's also like, are you just making a joke? Are you acknowledging subconsciously, like not subconsciously, but like, because Kanye is very like mysterious and he says things and he doesn't really fully explain himself, was he making a joke? Like, is he just clearly pointing out that this presidency and the whole thing and this democracy that they live in is just a farce, and that, like, you know what I mean? Is that what he's doing? Is that the evil? I don't know what the man does anymore.
Well, even if that was the case, he doesn't need to take the attention away by declaring that on Twitter that he's running for president. I think he could have done that with his music or other outlets without, like, think of Green Day back when George W. Bush was president, An American Idiot. And, like they use their music as an outlet to.
Yeah. But that's a good point too. Like, I find like media will take things and run with it. Like, Twitter's just Twitter. Like, I could probably say, you and I can both say, hey, like, if we were American, hey, we're running for president of the United States. Anybody in the United States can say that on Twitter and nobody's going to pick it up. Now, is it like media has a huge implication in all of this? It's like, okay, well, like, you guys are trying to stir the pot as well. Like, he can say, he's open and free to say whatever he wants to say. Yes, he has a giant platform, but it's also on these news companies to continue to regurgitate this story over and over and over again. It's a freaking tweet.
Yeah. And I think the funniest coverage I saw of this was, I think it was Fox, that had a whole panel discussion about Kanye running for president, and they were like, what are your thoughts? And they had Huckabee on there and a few others, and I'm like, it's a tweet. Stop giving it more credence than it deserves.
There's people hungry in your country. You should do something about that.
People like, no. So it pisses me off because Kanye knows what media will do and what media will say when it comes to celebrities saying certain things and doing certain things, and he knows that. And that's what pisses me off even more about this whole situation. Yeah. I think he was in a completely different state in terms of what was going on and the current climate there. It might be a funny story to be like, oh my God, the news outlets are running with this random tweet. But given what's happening, it's taken that like 15-minute segment that could have been used on something else that's more pressing in the country versus, and yes, it's Fox News. I get it. I know it's Fox News. But Yeah,
but it's not just Fox News, it's everywhere else, it's every other, like, you're like, when you're consciously choosing not to show these stories, like, I grew up wanting to be a journalist, like this, like I wanted to tell the news because I liked telling the truth. And as a young kid, I noticed that there was a contrast between what I was seeing with my own eyes and what was being shown on the news, or what my parents were teaching me, or things like that. Because I guess, like, my dad, like very woke for the 90s. And like, it was just weird. I could always see this like dialectic, and it was like, well, this isn't right, so where's the truth in this matter? And now to see that these like people that I literally considered heroes, like to me journalists were heroes, people who told the news were like the coolest people, and they're being bought, and they're actively choosing to tell these like Twitter stories instead of like telling hard news, things that actually, like, for most journalists, what they go into the industry for. It just like, it's crazy how one small thing, like a tweet from a celebrity, can lead into what is this bigger picture and expose so many cracks in a system.
Perfectly said. So let's, I guess, wrap this particular story up, because we could, again, rant, not even talk. I feel like now we're just ranting.
Yeah.
Do you think he's serious?
No.
Just no eye roll.
I don't know. Because he's smarter than everybody knows, than he even lets on. And I think he likes people thinking that he's dumb. I don't know what his plans are. I mean, he said he was going to run in 2016. So, I mean, he can't say that he didn't warn people.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't think he's serious, but I don't appreciate him doing it. That's kind of where I sit. And for those who are watching or listening, what do you guys think? Tell us on our social media channels.
Yeah.
Do you think this is something he's serious about? Do you think Kanye is, 2020, it's Kanye's year for president?
Yeah, he's coming.
Not as if a celebrity has ever won presidency before.
What has the world turned into?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you guys think, because you've heard what we think, how we feel about this. Do you think Kanye is genuine about his intentions to run for president? Do you think it's a ploy for something else? Do you think he has a new album, a new project coming out that he's just trying to get attention for? And then if so, do you think going about it this way to get promotion or some coverage with his name out there was appropriate?
Up, we'll post our socials down below, and in the links, there'll be links below us too as well. Do you want to talk about some happy stuff?
Happy stuff.
Happy stuff.
I mean, like, today's world, happy stuff seems like a little bit.
Happy stuff, question mark?
We found some. We
did. We had to look, but it's there.
Okay. For me, happy stuff. I said at the beginning of this show, Canada's Drag Race. I know, Allie, you're not a viewer of the drag races, and that is fine. I will convert you, because damn, it is good. To see season 11 runner-up Brooklyn Heights take the lead and be a host, one of the 3 hosts for Canada's Drag Race, even though it was just one episode, I thought she knocked it out of the park. It was just, she had me in stitches the entire damn time, along with all the Canadian puns mixed in with, the drag vocabulary. Was just amazing. And it was nice to see a homegrown queens, not just, Brooklyn was the first one on RuPaul's Drag Race, who was Canadian, and then this past season 12, they had Jackie Cox, who was Canadian and American, and a Persian immigrant. It's nice to see the Canadian talent and to see what's offered, and we are a kooky bunch. Just so many. It warmed my heart. I loved it. I do have a drag queen I don't like on the show, I think, and if you watch it, you will very quickly tell who it is. There's a level of professionalism missing with this particular drag queen. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say the name. Can I say the name? Kane. What?
Oh.
Kane. Kine.
How do they spell it?
Kine. Kine. So like I said, what makes me happy right now is Canada has its own drag race show. It is hosted by 3 amazing Canadians. In particular, Brooklyn Heights, who is just the queen of my heart, not only the queen of the North for drag. That's what makes me happy.
Very well said. Mine is not so extensive. I just found out that they created personal air conditioners for your body that you can wear. It does heat too, but we don't care about that right now. We just want to be cold.
My idea. What?
Yeah, we just want to be cold. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'll include the link that I found below to share with you guys so you can read a little bit about it. Apparently it's extremely affordable at like around $130 American. Yes.
$80.
So if you are the person like me who just cannot be brought to bring yourself to like walk from the air conditioned car to the house or into a building or anywhere for that matter that requires you not to go into your pool, this may be the thing for you because it made me extremely happy to read about it.
Imagine people walking into like Home Depot with this.
It's little. It's like this big. I don't know. Is it a shirt? Do you buy a shirt with it? Do you buy a multiple shirts?
What's the info? Yeah.
Yeah, there's an app. It's app controlled on your phone.
That's amazing.
I don't know, man. It sounds like the thing for me. So yeah, each week we're going to also include 5 links below for things that we found interesting, funny, happy. So the 2 things that we talked about will be included below. I know Matisse has another story that involves a gamer and The Last of Us, and we know that that's a huge game. Everybody loves to play it. Yeah, we're going to include those below for you guys to check out, and we want to hear from you all the time. We want you guys to be involved. We're doing this because we want to hear from you guys, and we hope that you will contribute your thoughts and your opinions and come and laugh and cry and joke around with us weekly. Yeah. Next week, we're just happy people. We're just happy people who want to hang out and spread some entertainment knowledge and have a good time doing it. Hopefully next week we will have Twitch streaming as well. I'm going to work a bit longer on that, and then you guys can actually join us live while we do this and throw out live questions, and we can answer you and just generally hang out, because this will be very edited and we'll be able to show you guys will just be able to see us and get to know us better, and we'll be able to get you to know you guys better. So that's our show for today.
And next week, we promise we'll have even more great entertainment news, gossip, and things like that. We just felt that the Kanye story it had a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of avenues.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We can't wait to see you again next week. And again, hopefully we'll be on Twitch and you'll be with us live.
Yay! Bye, guys. Hold on. Let me take a picture.